So only few students are around, so I will just start. Anyways, the topics are not that hard since this is an introduction for the second quarter. So it is the topic is on ATP and the importance of chlorophyll and other pigments in the taking of energy from the different organisms. Okay, so what is ATP? It is discussed there. ATP refers to adenosine triphosphate. It is related to adenosine diphosphate. So you just read the discussion there to be able to understand what is adenosine triphosphate. So it is the main after the photosynthesis done by the plants. Of course, people eat the plants, so that's where or in the food chain, the plant is eaten by other organisms and other organisms such as goat, pig, cow, chicken eat this plant. So the energy from the plant is transferred to the organism. So, and if we're going to eat those animals, that the energy from those animals will be transferred also to us, human. Okay, so everything or the energy transfer is properly explained by the food chain. This food chain is always discussed in your early sciences. Okay, so the energy that is transferred from the plants to other animals and animals to human are called adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so adenosine triphosphate is composed of adenine, ribose, and phosphate. These are the different molecules that compromises ATP. So ATP is like a fuel. It is best described or best compared to a fuel. Kung walang fuel ang sasakyan, the sasakyan will not move. The same with our body. So if we don't get any energy, which is in the form of ATP, we feel weak and sometimes we don't feel moving. So that is the purpose of the ATP to our body. So to be able to, sometimes of course, it the same as the fuel in the car na kapag malayo ang tinakbo, when you are running far or you keep on moving with the vehicle will use up the fuel. This fuel also is not necessarily when the fuel goes in the machine or yung sa makina, it does not necessarily gagamitin yung fuel. The fuel plus the heat will make it into energy and it is the one that makes the car move. Okay? So, together with this ATP, di ba kapag malayo ang narating ng car, of course, it also uses up the fuel. Now, because the fuel is already used up, kailangan na naman mag-refuel or kailangan naman magpunta sa gasoline station. It's the same with your body. Kapag naubos na yung ATP from your body, it will be converted to ADP. So from triphosphate, it converted to ADP. So now, what do you usually do um, when you need when you feel weak or when you feel tired? 'Di ba immediately you take in water. So as soon as you take in water, you feel your body is energized. So in the cycle, you will be needing water, which has the oxygen to be able to renew the energy in the form of ATP. Okay? So, if you're going to check on the page 4, if you're going to check on page 4, you will see um, the cycle. So, from ATP na mag-add up ng molecules of hydrogen and oxygen, from ADP, mag-add up ng molecules of hydrogen and oxygen from the water. Therefore, nagiging ATP na naman siya. And then, from the ATP, gagamitin mo yung energy. So, you will be losing again oxygen. So, it will be transformed into ADP. So, that explains the ATP and ADP cycle. Okay? So, on your activity number 1, you are going to discuss or you're going to explain the structure of ATP, which you can see, diba, I have already explained, the structure of ATP is comprises, the structure of ATP comprises um, um, adenine, ribose, and phosphate. Okay? So you're going to explain there the structure. You may draw the structure and discuss the structure. And then, next is the ATP source and how to acquire. Saan ba tayo nakakakuha ng ATP? Paanong nakukuha ang ATP? And, and saan tayo nakakakuha ng ATP? On the third table, ATP. Saan siya ginagamit? ATP uses. How do you use ATP? Where do you use ATP? Okay? Next, on this part of the table, ribose molecular structure. When you say molecular structure, you are going to draw. So, if you're going to see this one, okay. For this one, this is the structure of the adenine. This one is the structure of the ribose. And this one is the structure of the phosphate. Okay, so you are just going to draw on the three. If you're going to read ribose molecular structure, adenosine molecular structure, and phosphate molecular structure, so if you're going to see the part na may question, ribose molecular structure, ito yung idodraw nyo. Okay? If you're going to see adenosine molecular structure, ito yung idodraw nyo, the blue one. And then if you're going to see phosphate molecular structure, ito, the green one. Klaro ba? Any question, activity number 1? Okay, good. It's clear, right? Okay. So here, this explains the uses of cell energy. So, cell energy can be used by neurons in transmitting impulses or electrical signals from the sensory neurons to the brain and from the brain back to the sensory neurons. And then, It is also used by muscle to contract and generate movement with the use of ATP as energy. Number three, the waste materials and substances are eliminated. So the energy is also used to eliminate and excrete the waste materials in our body. Okay, so these are the different uses of the ATP. On your activity number two, based on your understanding, you are going to explain this one. Okay? Explain the structure. Kung hindi klaro, klaro naman siguro sa module ninyo. So here on top, charge siya. So the process starts here. Okay? The process starts here. Using H2O and plus the food that we get from the animals, it is charged. The ATP is charged. Okay? H2O plus the food that we get from the different animals and different plants, the the ATP is charged. Now, you use the water and the energy. So it is used up now. So it goes back to ADP wherein under here it says dead battery. So explain this structure in your own understanding and in your own words. Okay? Now, chlorophyll and other pigments. What are the uses of chlorophyll and other pigments? Bakit importante ang chlorophyll and other pigments? 'Di ba? In the process of photosynthesis, kailangan niya ang green only or most of the plant that is performing the photosynthesis process is has green leaf. The green pigment there, which is chlorophyll, is the one that attracts and absorbs the energy from the sun. This energy from the sun is being processed by the plant to form or convert to sugar. Okay? Together with the water and carbon dioxide, it converts to sugar. Tapos, sugar in the form of glucose is used by the plants as their food. Okay? That's why of all living organism, it is the plant that can only make their own food. Okay? So to be able to make their own food, they use different pigment, most especially the chlorophyll, the green pigment. But in plants, they are not only green or chlorophyll that is present. There is also different pigments such as yellow pigment and red pigment. So I'm pretty sure you have seen the carrot color orange, di ba? So the carrot there has red, orange, and yellow pigment. Carotenoid ang tawag sa pigment ng carrot. Kaya it takes the name carotenoid because the the plant that is most common of that color is carrot. So it is carotenoid. Carotenoid has its also function. They function as accessory pigment, meaning accessory pigment meaning it turns the plant more colorful. 'Di ba kung more colorful full ang plant, mas tawag nito, mas tasty siya tingnan, mas attractive siya. So it uses the pigment for um, accessory color. Okay? Kaya, there is one case that this artista likes to drink, ang kanyang diet is carrots. So, always, nag-ano siya ng carrot, nag-shake ng carrot, shake ng carrot. Tapos, later on, napansin niya ang kanyang skin is color has turned into color orange kasi the pigment of the carrots have was absorbed by his skin. So that's also uh, not a good implication now if you're absorbing too much pigments or plants with these pigments, ma-absorb siya ng skin mo. Okay? So another red pigment is the lycopene, which is found in tomatoes. Okay? So that tomatoes has red pigment, kaya red ang kanyang skin. Okay, what is the purpose of this carotenoid and the red pigment? Attract pollinators, accessories, absorb excess light energy, antioxidant, and substrate for hormones. Another pigment is blue. The blue pigment is called anthocyanin, which is found in blue flowers or the flower that has blue petals. Okay, so it has flavonoid pigments. Sometimes it is seen in vegetables. Okay, it attracts pollinators, repel predators, improve plant tolerance, improve night vision, and disorders. Okay, so if you're going to read your module, there are different types or different names of pigments that you can see in plants. Okay, so in your activity number 3, you're going to do an experiment. So, I'm sure maraming alugbate na plant around you. So, all you have to do is boil the plant. So, just read the instruction and then try to observe and then answer the question that is stated. Okay? And then, to check if you did it or did the activity, you have to do the activity so that you would know what are these pigments really is. Okay? So you have to take a photo of you doing the activity, huh? So that's it for the activity. As what I have said, this module is not very hard because I understand that you need a break also. So because you have too much already from your exam and your previous module, so I make this um, activity not that hard or this module not that hard. It is just an introduction. Okay? So any question for these topics or this module? Any question? Pwede rin, pwedeng kasi what makes alugbati is because ma-absorb siya immediately. Pero pwedeng kamote, pwedeng um, ano yan? Malunggay. Because malunggay, it's very green din siya. So yes, pwedeng any dahon kung walang alugbate. Okay? Any more question?
Ma'am, ang katunggingan, ang sinabi mo na ano ma'am na mag-take ng picture, asan ilagay sa ano ma'am bond paper tapos padikit ito sa module or i-send lang sa iyo?
I-send lang sa akin, i-PM lang.
Ay sige po, thank you.
Okay. Are there more question? Okay, good. So, Lord, are you there? Lumugdang. Sige, ikaw na lang, Jude. Please lead the prayer. Okay, thank you for today's classes. Bye. You may leave now.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.